because she doesn't want me to have happiness. No, but my writer, the strange thing is we all hear about these crazy writers, blue M&Ms and a pair of socks, white lilies. I mean, those people aren't nut jobs. But the purpose of it is when you're traveling, that you can get somewhere you can get to the theater, you can eat, and then do the show. Like, you don't have to wait for delivery or sending someone out or something like that. So my writer is essentially a deli tray, and then it's interesting when I do shows in Canada, and maybe it's just for Last People, but there's always horseradish sauce. Is that a big Canadian thing?
If there's roast beef.
There's roast beef. So maybe that's a horseradish sauce. Interesting. I never said it was going to be funny all the time. It was really boring. I went to his thing. Mine was great, but he was boring.
And I'm curious, did you develop a lot of the chapters in here on stage as comedy routines?
Well, there was a lot, I write everything with my wife, so I'll come up with an idea, and then we'll sit around and I'll bounce around the idea, or I've gotten to the point where I am improvising a lot of ideas on stage, but some of them were stuff that maybe I knew I couldn't do it on stage. Like, I have probably 20 pages on cheese, and I'm not going to be able to just rattle off jokes on cheese on stage, even though I'm not beyond it. And then there were some essays that I kind of set out as an assignment, like writing an essay on crackers. This is making people want to buy the book, right? Oh, he has an essay on crackers? Great. So there is
a skit versus wheat thins.
Yes, it was a very important distinction. And but then some of them are, for instance, there's a section on bacon. I have a good 8 or 9 minutes on bacon, but there was still, tons of bacon jokes that I didn't have in the stand-up section. So
now we are entering a period. We've already had our Thanksgiving here,
yes.
Which you, I think, say in the book is really weird.
Yes, you guys don't even celebrate 4th of July. How weird is that?
But yours is coming up,
yes.
Along with Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
Any tips on, getting the most out of all of those meals?
It's just, the holiday season, which is, there's nothing, it's a very unprofessional season, really. It's like we spend, and I kind of chronicle how, January, February, we kind of struggle to kind of live healthy, and then it's just slowly unravels, and then December's just a disaster. Right? It's just like Las Vegas month. You just eat and spend. There's just so many obligations, and it's just, I had a tweet. It's like, how about a month filled with obligation and anxiety? That's what December is. And so I don't know. And people gain weight during the holidays, but luckily the way I eat, I gain weight for the holidays. But I don't know if there's any advice. I think it's just kind of pace yourself, right? But I don't know. It's weird because Thanksgiving, the American Thanksgiving, that I don't know much about Canadian. I don't believe in communism. The Canadian Thanksgiving. But the American Thanksgiving is very much about overeating. I assume, is that the same? And but the weird thing is like people are like, oh, I ate so much at Thanksgiving. I'm kind of like, I do that every night. You know what I mean? That's nothing.
Last year you wrote Dad is Fat. This year, Food and Love Story. Are you going to complete maybe, what would you call it, like a fat trilogy or something?
I'm never writing another book again because it's too hard. And that's the lesson I also have for kids. When things are hard, don't do it. It's just like, what are you trying? It's weird. It's like, I got done with this book and my wife didn't talk to me for a month. No, I got done with this book and you sit there and you go, what is the driving force behind all of what we do? It's like some people some people just need things, like they need cars and they need a boat and an extra house. I guess I'm simple. All I need is like a nice bed and a private jet. You know what I mean? That's all I need. And a pilot that's not chatty. You know what I mean? I'm just a simple guy. But I don't know. So like I got done with this book and it's fun. It's very rewarding to write a book, but it's a lot of work. And, all joking aside, it's like I am ambitious. It's very fulfilling being creative, but in the end, I don't want to be a horrible dad. I want to be mediocre at that. I want to try my best at it, right?
A lot of comics have come out in the past few years with memoirs about their careers, but you decided not to go that route.
I think we know too much about everyone already. It's just like, how much do we need? I don't care. I mean, I just think it's. I know that there's some autobiographical stuff in Dad is Fat. And by the way, is that the sound of a blender? Someone's making margaritas. Make margaritas. They just do on the book event over there. But I don't know. There is something because when I first went around and pitched the idea of Dad is Fat, it didn't have that much autobiographical stuff. And I think there's something strange in our culture. There's such a voyeuristic thing where don't you think it do we need to know everything about everyone? Anyway, that's why I'm running for Prime Minister. I think that we should stop trying to know everything about everyone. Anyway, I'm a great guy. Did I mention that? Do you know what I mean? Like, isn't there something where I think it's important that some people do it, but I don't know if we need that voyeuristic exhibitionist thing. It's just getting out of control. Just agree with me.
Yes, I agree. On your IMDb page, it says you are developing a sitcom based on your life.
Yes.
You are playing a guy with a very attractive wife and 5 children living in New York City. Can you tell me what stage that is in right now? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer.
Well, we developed this for initially at NBC. And then it went to CBS, and we did 2 rounds at CBS, and it tested amazingly well. And of course, they didn't pick it up. But so it's going to be on Comedy Central and TV Land in the U.S. My wife and I are writing the episodes right now, and but that would be in June. I don't know what that means, where it would be up here. I don't know.
And creative control, total creative control.
Yes, which is interesting because I do feel like there is something about I understand the success of some of the 4-camera shows, but I think a show could be funny and appeal to a lot of different people. I don't know. I know that's vague, but I don't want to get into it. But no, I think there could be a show that you could watch with your 9-year-old, and you don't have to worry about it being Charlie Sheen making some sexual reference. And I think that some sitcoms have kind of gotten away from that in a way. So, but this will be a single camera. I don't know. We'll see. Don't hold me to it.
But you are known for your clean comedy style.
Yes, I am clean because Jesus told me to be clean. I mean, the weird thing is, that's just kind of, it's strange, the clean comedy thing, because all comedians just want to be known as funny. And so, and I think that comedians get a lot of credit and a lot of criticism for doing the comedy they do anyway. And that's not to say I don't curse in everyday life, never in front of an adult. But I do think that, it's just, I'm from a small town in Indiana, and I'm talking about mundane things. It's not necessary to curse. And I'm a great guy.
So you're writing the scripts right now. You haven't
Yes.
cast the series.
The series has been cast.
So how was it? It must have seen tons of adorable blonde, blue-eyed kids to play your kids. How was that?
It was, it's interesting. We intentionally, we cast the kids younger so that the kids, so it's the element